Paul Taylor. Paul will be receiving James A. Veitch Prize, awarded by the English Department for the most distinguished imaginative writing submitted during the year by an undergraduate at Yale, awarded May 1991. James A. Veitch Prize, awarded by the English Department for the most distinguished imaginative writing submitted during the year by an undergraduate at Yale, awarded May 1991.
The class of 1991. The following four individuals were elected to membership into the Alpha of Connecticut chapter of Phi Beta Kappa last fall in the second election from the class of 1991. Please rise and remain standing after I've called your names. I would ask that you also hold your applause until all the members have been identified. Neil Jason Brenner, Paul Anthony Dispinigitis, Marlene Ruth Jacobs, Paul Brian Taylor. Four individuals were elected to membership into the Alpha of Connecticut chapter of Phi Beta Kappa last fall in the second election from the class of 1991. Please rise and remain standing after I've called your names. I would ask that you also hold your applause until all the members have been identified. Neil Jason Brenner, Paul Anthony Dispinigitis, Marlene Ruth Jacobs, Paul Brian Taylor. Now the big part. Okay, first a couple of quick source announcements. Those of you who have received general or departmental distinction should please turn in your diploma at the end of the ceremony. There will be a cardboard box up here with Graziella, and there's a form inside of your folder which you should fill out so that those can be added to your diplomas. Your BA in Economics. Carla Yvonne Taylor, BA in Philosophy. Paul Brian Taylor, BA in Political Science, summa cum laude, distinction in the major. Paul Brian Taylor, BA in Political Science, summa cum laude, distinction in the major. Yay, Paul. First, I would like to, that's an inside joke. First, I would like to welcome to Calhoun College all of the proud relatives and friends of graduating seniors who have joined us today for this very joyful celebration of accomplishment. Second, I want to assure you that I know that the hour is late, and it's been a long day, and we're all hungry, so my remarks will be exceedingly brief. Master Onat, distinguished fellows and guests of Calhoun, members of the class of 1991, your undergraduate experience is now at an end. When your class arrived in New Haven on a hot and humid day in late August of 1987, Benno Schmidt was starting his second year as president of Yale, William Nordhaus was provost, Sidney Altman was dean of Yale College, Martin Griffin was dean of undergraduate studies, Ramsey McMullen was master of Calhoun College, Liz Sater was his administrative assistant, John Godfrey was dean of Calhoun, and Irene Panaris was his administrative assistant. As you graduate today, only one of these individuals, President Schmidt, still occupies the same position he did 4 years ago. Calhoun itself has undergone a dramatic $21 million facelift during your tenure here. Clearly, your stay has been marked by a measure of transition in the life of this institution. I suspect, however, that the changes which have occurred in yourselves have been even greater than those that have been happening around you. When you arrived here in late August 1987 and were greeted by your freshman counselors, Stuart Dow, Milt Liu, Bill Hetzel, Dean Roskis, Dottie Schaefer, and Dale Martin, there were 108 of you, hailing from 28 states, the District of Columbia, and 3 foreign countries. You were full of plans and expectations. As I skimmed through your admissions applications the other day, I was forced to smile to myself more than once when I glanced at your various answers to the question regarding your intended major, and compared those responses with a list of degrees actually awarded today. But these are superficial changes, and the changes I'm speaking about now are more profound than this. You came to Yale from a wonderfully diverse set of backgrounds and experiences, full of tremendous talent, ability, promise, energy, and goals. For the better part of the past 4 years, you have made this truly extraordinary institution your home. While here you have learned many things. You have solved intricate and complex mathematical equations. You have designed graceful buildings and fabulous machines of the future. You have spent countless hours in laboratories delving into the mysteries of life. You have conversed with the great philosophers and poets of many cultures, frequently in their own languages. You have listened to and performed beautiful music. You have enjoyed and created masterpieces of art. You have passionately argued and debated all the great issues of the day. You have watched, performed in, directed, and even written wonderful plays. You have, in short, probed and explored so many aspects of the human experience and human condition through art, literature, history, science, music, drama, language, and the social sciences. And your learning has not been confined to classroom theories. You have devoted endless hours to voluntary community service in New Haven and nearby. You have helped to feed the hungry and shelter them, and the homeless. You have inspired the young to learn. You have visited those in prison. You have comforted the lonely, the sick, and the dying. You have worked hard in so many practical ways to preserve our precious environment and encourage respect for it. I think, too, that you have learned much from and about each other during mealtime discussions and countless late-night bull sessions. While there has been an important technical aspect of your education here, that is not what concerns me at this moment. During your time here, you have been exposed to critical thought and urged over and over again to employ your own considerable powers of analysis. You have been taught the essential importance of rigorous methodology as the prime vehicle for advancing the objectives of systematic inquiry. My guess is that your exposure to critical thought at Yale will ultimately be the most important thing that you take away with you today. Much of the details of what you have learned have already left you. What I hope never leaves you is a sense of the central importance of a constantly inquiring mind. If Yale has exceeded it all for you, then the drive to question, to endlessly reassess, to search and examine will come to you almost as a natural reflex. This is, I think, ultimately the most vital quality imparted by a truly liberal education. The trick for you now will be to nurture and translate this dedication to critical thought so that it informs and illuminates virtually every aspect of your life, whether it be regarding a personal, social, family, professional, or communal matter. If the goal of a liberal education is the preparation of free men and women to participate in and contribute to a free society, then surely the measure of success of that education is the extent to which the citizens of that society are truly able to lead a reflective and considered life. This then is what I hope for you, ladies and gentlemen, of the class of 1991, that you are able to take the skills of critical inquiry cultivated here at Yale and translate them over and again in every dimension of your lives for as long as you draw the breath of life. If you have learned nothing else here, I hope that you have learned not to fear, but rather to welcome and anticipate thoughtful examination, whether of yourselves, of your lives, or of the world around you. The question for each of you will be how to keep alive this important quality, and in this regard, let me make a modest proposal. At this moment, I am sure that you are filled with a host of very powerful emotions and memories of your experiences here. Most of them, I trust, are happy. If the past 4 years have been the critical and formative experience that they should have been, then I hope that the very memories and emotions which now flood your souls will serve to refresh and inspire you many times in the years and decades to come. Hopefully the feelings you are now experiencing will not simply be exhumed at class reunions every 5 years like some petrified fossils of a past now over. Rather, I would urge you to hold on to your memories and allow them to become vibrant and refreshing lifelong sources of contact with the most vital thing that I hope that your time at Yale has left you with, belief in and devotion to the tremendous power of critical thought and reflection. Do not force your memories of Yale and your life at Calhoun into sealed compartments like so many cardboard boxes that now contain most of the physical remnants of your college years. Do not let your memories of Yale fade like so many curling and yellowing photographs. Hold tightly and proudly to your Yale memories, mobilize them and draw liberally from them often as you renew and rededicate yourselves to leading genuinely reflective lives. In this way, I think that you will find that memory can be transformed from a stagnant preoccupation with the past into a dynamic and inspiring force for future growth. I hope also that this perspective on the memories and emotions which now preoccupy you will help you to see this moment not simply as the end of a wonderful experience, but but as the transition to a new and even more wondrous future. As you know, I too will be departing Yale this year. I speak therefore with an intimate and personal understanding of the separation anxiety that I'm sure many of you are experiencing at this moment. Within a matter of weeks, we will all be separated as we follow our individual futures to the far corners of the globe. Despite our physical separation, however, I can assure you that I will treasure always the memories of what we have shared together in this very special place. As we prepare to journey onward along different paths, I would like to pause and thank you for sharing with me the distance we have come together. So, fellow travelers, congratulations to all of you for all that you have accomplished. Fond wishes and Godspeed wherever life takes you.
If and when I can find my few words of closure, here we are. As the final moments of these ceremonies arrive, I would like to recognize the unsung heroes of this enterprise, namely the parents and families. Please join me in applause for your parents. As you take leave from us today, please remember that we shall rejoice in your happiness and achievements. We shall also be the first ones to understand if life gets a little stormy for you. You will have our best wishes and love. As the final moments of these ceremonies arrive, I would like to recognize the unsung heroes of this enterprise, namely the parents and families. Please join me in applause for your parents.
Why'd you say something? I'm looking for you.
Well,
Tony! Why'd you say something? I'm looking for you.
No, I think that just blurs it more. Just hold it real still.
I've got to go.
I
looks like a famous Paul Brian Taylor.
Yes, I conceive him.
You both will.
Yeah, we have good genes. One, that's all. No more. He's really daring. Yeah, that's really moving. This is the guy that ate really vanilla ice cream when he was 25.
They told me
Gracious God, in these moments we gather up with gratitude the memories of the years which you have granted to us in this place. We give thanks for the discipline of learning, which sometimes has had to be inflicted upon us, but which has brought us reward in new vision and new knowledge. We are grateful for the friends and roommates who have put up with our eccentricities and foibles, who have shared our joys and sorrows, who have been with us in our successes and frustrations. We remember with appreciation the teachers who have shared their knowledge with us and who have demanded that we do our own learning. enriched this place in many ways. Your curiosity has nourished our academic mission. Your dazzling array of interests in the arts, in religious life, in community service, in politics, athletics, your good humor, and your sense of fun have all helped make Yale a stimulating place to be. Yale owes you a lot, and you owe Yale. What you owe Yale above all is what you owe yourselves. To accept the responsibility that goes with the freedom of mind you have nurtured here. You owe yourselves a life of learning, lived in the spirit of liberty. That spirit, as learned Hand said, that is not too sure it is right. There is no way you can more generously repay your debt to Yale than by living lives of this kind. For such lives will call you to support and to defend the special academic character of Yale and places like it. Universities today badly need this support. They are threatened from without and from within, from people who do not understand or do not care about their academic mission, and the autonomy from the partisan politics and preoccupations of the moment that a place of liberal learning must enjoy. You may be surprised to hear that I believe universities are in difficulty. It seems quiet here, but the quiet is the quiet of a storm center. The fundamental problem across this country I perceive is a loss of confidence within universities and without in what universities essentially are. The academic values that ought to govern universities and to distinguish them from other institutions are not being vigorously articulated or defended today. And the result is a growing public sense that universities have lost their way. The symptoms are all around us. The skepticism and even suspicion with which universities are now treated, even by friends of learning, exceeds anything I can recall in my life. A few weeks ago, the president of a leading university, not unlike this one, briefed the meeting of the trustees by talking first about the revelations of improper...
Welcome.
Yeah, what? I don't know whether you can see anything through